Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming at you live, talking about episode 2 of the anime series Koiwa Ameagari no Yo Ni, or Love is Like After the Rain. And I love this show. I'm completely head over heels smitten with it. This is my happy, calm, warm, relaxing show of the winter 2018 season, above all else. I'm already endeared to the characters, at least the two mains, Tachibana and Kondo, the restaurant manager. I just dig them both. I dig their personalities. I dig the sort of, romantic, I guess you could say, rose-colored glasses that everything is, unfolding under. I like the plotting. I like the pacing. I like the whimsical stuff, the comedic stuff. It just really makes me happy. I was just smiling through the entirety of this episode. And I have likened it and other shows akin to it as things like, Sweetness and Lightning and Flying Witch, Three Gatsu no Lion in parts and segments, like Hibike Euphonium, and shows that just really warmed my heart and that I just really was invested in and enjoyed. As soon as the episode came on, all the way to the last second of like the end of it, I would just be attuned to it and I would feel good watching it and experiencing it. And that's what I largely am feeling. We're only 2 episodes in, and that's largely what I'm feeling with this show. I love the character designs. I love the animation, the color palette. It's all popping and vibrant. And it just really warms my heart. I mean, there is something to be said for the age gap between the two mains. Tachibana is much younger than Kondo, her manager, and whom she's very smitten with and taken with. But just, forgetting that, just eschewing that, because this is all fictional anyway, the vibe of it, the warmth of it, the warm-heartedness of it really just makes me happy. It just makes me smile. And with this particular episode, of course, she's sort of always gazing at him longingly, whatever he's doing and doling out. And we find out that her school chum, the blonde guy who's constantly after her, trying to get into her better graces, wants to date her, get to know her, Yoshizawa. He has now applied for a job there. He's the new hiree that's going to be, working in the kitchen, doing the dishes and everything like that. And he's trying to impress her and get closer to her. And of course, Kondo thinks, oh, they might be boyfriend-girlfriend, because he saw Yoshizawa approached Tachibana when she was leaving work the one night where it was raining and everything, and completely oblivious to what the actual dynamic is between them. And Yoshizawa, for his part, is completely oblivious to the fact that Tachibana has no interest in him whatsoever, So I even like that dynamic. I like the fact that her one blonde friend in the restaurant actually likes Yoshizawa's, so she could run interference or something, and of course, when you get to the point where the guy left his smartphone back at the restaurant, and Kondo goes running out and he sees a car departing and he thinks that might be the guy, but then he realizes no, he went the other way on a bike. And of course, Tachibana coming out, she is the runner. She has that history of being in the track team and everything like that. And even though, even in spite of her injury, her first instinct is, well, if the light turns red, I got time enough. I can make a beeline down to the end of the block and get this guy's phone back. And so she does this, and inevitably I knew it immediately as soon as, she was even considering it. I'm like, oh no, she's got the injury. This is going to upset the injury. That's exactly what happened. But I was kind of smitten with the fact that Kondo was so nervous, and even after Yoshizawa broke all the dishes in the kitchen, he's like, never mind that, where's the car keys? Brings Tachibana to like a walking clinic or whatever it is that she has been going to already, and she's a little nervous about pulling her sock down, like the intimacy there, revealing her ankle and everything. Kind of goes back to like a 1950s sensibility, which because I am somewhat old school, I could respect. She doesn't really want to bare her leg, sort of bare all in front of him. She feels a little weird about that because of how she feels about him and his being, completely unaware of that and in his own world and everything. So, I like that, when he brings up, oh, well, Yoshizawa, you left your stuff back at the restaurant. I'll have Yoshizawa come and bring it to you. You're his girlfriend, right? And she loses it. She's screaming. And I like how constantly in the restaurant, now in the clinic, like when somebody's yelling or dishes crash back in the kitchen, somebody inevitably has to pop their head out, or a waitress at a table is like, sorry. To the patrons and customers. And so that happens again. And of course, Kondo's completely out of his element. He has no idea, like the fact that Tachibana has such a love for him and everything like that. Love lights in her eyes for him. And how deep that goes and why she would be so upset. He actually thinks she doesn't like he's all apologetic. He's calling her personal phone and like, if you need anything, this is my cell number. You get in contact with me. He's trying to make an effort to go over to her house to apologize to her mother because she's supposed to be under his care as he being her manager in the workplace and all that kind of stuff. And like, he's trying to make amends where he doesn't need to. He thinks he has to make some kind of amends because she probably is pissed off at him and doesn't actually like him. Little does he know, like when she's laying in bed and she thinks about going out to a convenience store. She does consider, she's tapping her phone screen. She does consider maybe calling him, but then she doesn't. She gives up on it, and that's where they inevitably meet in the streets. He's trying to find her house for that purpose of apologizing to her mother. And I just thought it was sweet that he kind of treats her to a snack, to like a lunchtime snack. And I wonder, because there's a point where he goes and gets his beverage and he's on his way back, he's kind of scrutinizing the placement of the restaurant that they've gone into. I wouldn't have set it up that way because he's the manager of a restaurant. But as he's making his way back to the table, I thought it was really intriguing that he's looking at her, pointed toward the window, gazing out on the vista, the horizon. And he's reminded of something, and I almost don't half wonder if that calls back to like his wife, his former wife or something like that, or a girlfriend in his past. There's constant things going on that are happening. Like in the restaurant, when Tachibana's friend is like, oh, let's talk about all the things we really like and get our hearts aflutter and everything. And she's bolstered by, the fact that Yoshizawa's now working there and she likes him and all that kind of stuff. And you have Kondo in the background sort of going, ooh. This gains the attention of Tachibana's, coworker, who's like, Mr. Kondo's acting really weird. Like he's just in his own element. He misses, I think he has a whole lot of nostalgia for his youth and for going on dates and all that kind of stuff. And so it kind of embodies a date by the end where she reveals, Mr. Kondo, I like you. Before she even realizes the words have come out of her mouth. And then she's stunned. He's kind of like, But then he completely obliviously is like, oh, well, that's so good. I thought you hated me. I thought you didn't like me. I thought you blamed me for everything. I feel so much better that that's not the case. And so I like it. I like it a lot. It really warms my heart. It makes me smile. Each episode thus far has brought a grin to my face, an unflinching grin that doesn't go away. And I really, really enjoy the show. I just really do. No holds barred. It's like my feel-good show for the moment. Because there is characterization, there is depth to the characters, there are great interpersonal, relationships going on and dynamics going on. And overarchingly, I'm just curious to see how this is going to go. I mean, the synopsis of the show said she will reveal to Kondo how she feels, and she kind of did by the end of this episode, but arguably, I mean, it just sort of went over his head, and she was completely embarrassed. He's like, oh, I'm going to treat you to more food, more lunch, because he's just so happy she doesn't hate him. And so I am wondering if they are going to just keep pussyfooting around, or if she'll actually legitimately reveal herself to him, and what's going to happen as a result, if there's going to be a fallout, or if things are going to go amicably, or however it's going to play out. I want to know. That's how invested in these characters I am, and it's only 2 episodes in, man. I can't account for that. I just dig it. So, love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 2 of Koi wa Ameagari no yo ni, or Love is Like After the Rain. If you've seen it as well, love it or hate it, anything goes in the comments below. You can have a thorough, completely, antithetical opinion to my own. Maybe you didn't enjoy it at all whatsoever. Maybe you didn't think it was, that heartwarming or enjoyable. Maybe it didn't bring a smile to your face. If not, why not? Let me know that in the comments below. I just love having that conversation. And so yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Bring on the next one. I'll catch you all later. Peace.